Everyone, this is Daniel. This is a quick devlog for this week. I just submit build 1.1.12. I was going to call it 1.2, but I decided I won't do that until I add new content to the game. All I want to do right now is go over the patch notes, because there's a lot of stuff in here. But first, I guess thanks to everyone who showed up to the stream on Saturday. I managed to get some of the easy tasks done in the editor that I wanted to get done. And hopefully I can do it again next week and get even more. And I feel like maybe after next week, the editor will start to be a lot more usable for people that need like that narration and stuff. Anyway, here's the patch notes. There's a few bug fixes. A lot of them have to do with tracks that have speed changes or BPM changes or pauses. They now, let's see, the turn cues were not working in the audible modes. Rivals were acting weird. So those are acting a bit better. There's still issues, but, and I should just read these, but I'm trying to like cherry pick. There's also an issue where, cues for very short holds were getting truncated so much they were almost not audible. So this is just bug fixes. So the real meat of this update is the I'm starting to add the 2.0 features. They're not done, but they're in this they're in there so that people can play with them. So you can switch a track to version 2 by going to this track info menu and doing toggle game version, and this just turns the game version from 1 to 2. And I talked about this, a lot of this stuff in the last devlog. Was it last week? I can't remember, but I'm just gonna go over like how to actually use it so that people can kind of jump in and start using this stuff. So most of the stuff, and this interface isn't final, but most of it's in this edit menu. And clearly I need to make the text smaller because it's really big, but I've got cylinder change, that's number one big thing, but you can also change a bunch of different camera parameters and also the left and right walls, and then move the track center. So I'm going to try to demonstrate all that stuff so you can, get an idea about how it works. So to change where the walls are, it's Control-Shift left or Control-Shift right. So if I change that to 16, you see the track is wider. And then if I move the right wall out, the default is 8. If I make it 16, now the track is like twice as wide. Now this interface, Control-Shift left and right, it's not good, and it's not final. There's going to be more. It's going to be better. I just don't know when that's going to happen. And then to move the center line of the track around, it's Control-Shift up, which kind of makes sense. So to move it to the left, you give it a negative number, so like -8 moves it over, and then if I come up here and insert another change, I can have it move over here. One thing about the track center is that you can change how it interpolates. Oh, that doesn't actually update the graphics, but so you can change it from basically linear to cosine. So now it's a wavy change, and then there's also a those parameters should be editable for all these different like the track walls, the track center, the cylinder like all the things. They should have an interface to allow you to edit all this, but it actually doesn't yet. So, like I said, the interface isn't done. So that's basically how you move the walls and stuff around. If I wanted to like make the track more narrow, you have to like insert a node. So you see a little, you can see where it is. And I can delete that just by erasing it, but let me insert it back. And then if I go up here and I insert another change, I can make the wall come in like that. But I won't do that. So that's how you change the walls. And then the other cool thing is cylinder. Let's see what that is. It
Insert new cylinder value.
yeah, Shift C.
Erase.
You can insert a cylinder value. So I'm gonna insert actually a 0 here, and all of these parameter changes show up next to the notes, so you can see where you've done it. So if I go up a bit and I insert 0.5 here, that makes the track into a half pipe. Like 0.5 is like half a cylinder. If I go up to 1.0, then that's a full cylinder. Let's see what's next. I'm really just going down the list, but I want to show you how. Okay, the camera parameters too.
2.5.
So like this track, I'm gonna save that. This track, I have it starting with the camera super up high, and then coming down. And to do that, I just put
-8, -12.
all the way back here. I set the camera height to 200, and I think that's, what is it?
Edit camera height value.
Oh,
Erase
okay,
complete.
Control Shift H.
The current value is 200. The cursor is at the end.
And I just set it to 200 there, and then
-4, 0.
all the way down
0 and
to
2 and 1/4. 2.5.
0,
3.5.
where the track starts.
3
So
3/4.
that's
3
how
and a
that
half.
works.
1.5. 1 and 1/4.
And then the other camera parameters there are is camera pitch, which you can use to make the camera aim straight forward by setting
1 and 3/4.
the pitch
1 and 1/4.
to
-3 and 1/4.
0.
-3.5.
So I'll demonstrate that. It defaults to having a camera pitch 1 at the start, but let's see, I think it's Control Shift
Edit
P.
camera pitch value
Yeah.
-1,
If I set the camera pitch to 0, the camera will be aiming straight down the middle. So camera pitch 1 is the default pitch down. Camera pitch 0 is aiming straight, and then you can even make it aim up for whatever reason. But
Pause menu.
now,
159%
so that's
speed.
basically camera changes. There's also a camera angle left and right,
Pause menu.
and then there's
159%
also a barrel roll. Where is that? Oh, if you insert a barrel roll, that has to coincide with a zigzag note.
12 and 1/12.
Oh, and the editor and the camera.
Channel 2.
See how the editor's all screwed up, but if I
11 and 3/12.
insert a barrel roll, how do I do that? I don't even know if it, okay.
Insert new camera barrel roll value. Erase.
Basically with those, just insert a 1 and
10.5.
you'll get a barrel roll when you hit the note. And anyway,
157% speed.
that stuff's not really done, but or the way that works is kind of jarring, but you can play around with it right now. What's next? I'm just gonna go down the line. So I added early version of the steering lanes feature. It doesn't work. You can play with it. It does not work though. So like if I wanted to put one here, it's the G key to insert one, and it looks like a regular note here. But it works like a hold in that you go to where you want it to end and hit Shift G. Did that work?
0 and 1/4. 0 and a half. 1 and 1/4. 1.5. 1 and 1/4. 1 and 1/4.
Maybe it doesn't work,
0 and 3/4. 0.
or it's just not drawing. You know what it is?
100. Restart. Quit. Arcade.
It's because it doesn't show up in
Arcade. Restart.
audible cues modes for some reason. I don't know why. Anyway, the stuff, it's in there for you to play with, but it's buggy. Especially this feature just doesn't. Nope, it's not there.
Pause menu.
All right.
0 and a half. 1.
Well-
0 and 1. 0.
Or didn't I? You know what? You know what I just did? It wasn't.
Channel 0.
It didn't coincide with the slice. I think that's why it wasn't working. Yep, there we go.
-1 and a
It
half.
has. It's just like a hold note. It has to actually
-1 and 1/4.
coincide with a sound.
-1.
So I tried to put one just. Oh god, what was
118%.
that?
Restart. Quit. 0 and 1.
The camera's still up in the air here, so I think you get it. You can insert them, but they don't work, so I don't know what you're gonna do with it. Set pieces can be recolored or retextured. This is another thing that's just really early. So in the environment editor, if I select a set piece, let's select something cool. Where's? I might have to add one. I think I demonstrated this in the last video, but I'll do it again just to be complete. But if I have, there's a color menu. Again, this interface is
128.
awful.
120. 120.
I don't even like how this is from. Why is it?
90. 17.
This interface is bad. That's what I'm trying to say.
99. 120.
Why is it default to that? I don't know. Basically, if you use this stuff, it's not going to be fun until I kind of come up with a better interface. Great, that's fun. So you can recolor them, and there is this material menu. It doesn't really... It literally doesn't work. I think maybe Okay, that doesn't work. Like I said, this stuff is not finished yet. Anyway, this is all stuff that's going to come online later. So I improved performance of editing the track spline. This was a big issue. If you had a big long track, every time you like edited this spline, it took forever to recalculate, but it's a lot faster now to like change the track and move the points. And that's just a good quality of life change for editing. Let's see. Added a repeat count to cursor option. So like for this street light, if I want to repeat it 100 million times, I don't have to hit plus a million times. I just go to where I want it to end and do repeat to cursor, and it will just repeat it to wherever the cursor is. That looks really bizarre, by the way. It does not look the way you would want it to. And oh yeah, during the stream I did add a little metronome or note clap. You can turn that stuff on here, so just a little quick way to get at that if you want to turn it on. And then one of the big, what things you'll notice here is that I have this custom track model, and so this, I don't know why it's appearing multiple times down there. That's interesting. I'll have to fix that. Like I said, this is so buggy at this point. But anyway, you can put your own track pieces in, and I'm going to show you what this looks like. I tried to do it in the last video, but for some reason it did not work. So in this track, I put the models in a set pieces folder. You don't have to do that, but it's OBJ files, which you can export from most programs. But these have to be, you need to have triangulated faces. You can export OBJs with faces with more than 3 verts, but these have to be triangulated. So just 3 verts per face, because I don't handle anything else. And then in the patch notes, I did put some information about how to texture these. So like if I have this for this grassy track model file, you can have a grassy track - diffuse PNG file, and that textures the model. And I put a little bit more information about that in the patch notes. I even put a little snippet of what the JSON, what is that? Nope. Is supposed to be. And I'm hoping this is self-explanatory. I don't really want to document this stuff, but basically it's where you kind of give each set piece a name, but each set piece can have multiple models, and that's kind of, but also you specify stuff like stretch over track means it actually gets warped to the track, and that's like what all the track pieces do. You can scale it. This is where you specify the model. There's various types of settings to tell it how to render. Like there's not many options here. It looks like there's so much, but really there's, like, I'm using this nearest neighbor filtering, and this is how you turn that on, so I get the Minecraft look. And then there's one shader option that's not the default, called full bright, for things that should just be not shaded but fully bright, I guess. There's not a lot to it, I think. I'm hoping this is self-explanatory, and if you just play with this, if you really want to figure it out, you can figure it out. So there's a bunch of different textures you can have: a diffuse, normal, specular, emissive, reflective. You don't need all those. You need basically just a diffuse is the most basic thing, and then if you want something to have lights or something, that's an emissive. You really don't need all these, so don't worry about that. And there's still a few bugs. Rival rigs, they still don't look right. They don't pause during pauses. I don't even know how that's supposed to work yet right now, but they don't look correct. All the graphics for these version 2 tracks is still incomplete. Like the let's see.
Pause menu. 130% speed.
Like the zigzags are hard to see here, especially because the track's all sideways. But
Pause menu.
the
130% speed.
shadows on the notes are like overlapping each other, and what I would like to have it do is the shadows should not even cover the lines on the track. I'll get there sometime, but for now it looks a bit goofy.
Pause menu.
And then these
155% speed.
ramp-ish things, this is just a quick mock-up of what that could look like. I'm probably going to change how that looks, and the way that things are all layered and on top of each other is nothing's done basically. Yeah, like I said, the UI I just showed you for editing all that new stuff. That's not final. It's really tedious still, but I'd like to improve it. The steering links things does not work. Oh yeah, you cannot yet drive all the way around a cylinder-shaped track. So if I go ahead and make the cylinder 1.0,
6.5.
you still cannot go all the way around. There's still a wall. Oh,
159%.
yeah.
Speed.
One of the graphics things that doesn't work is the health and power meter are still.
Pause
They
menu.
don't.
159% speed.
They're not drawing where they should, like on a cylinder track. And then I think that's it. Hopefully I didn't take too much time blabbing, but I really just wanted to go over the patch notes and kind of explain things. And I think that's it. I'm trying to keep this one quick because I'm tired. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning into streams. I'll stream again Saturday, and I'm gonna keep working on the editor and stuff. And, I think that's it. Bye.